Welcome back, everybody. My name's A Prater54, aka Adam, coach of the McChesney Park Slowpokes, and today I bring you my Season 6 YCL Draft Analysis. This season we had a budget of 68 points, minimum of 9, max of 11 Pokemon, and I ended up getting 7th overall pick. This was an interesting draft. We have coaches here. This is gonna get spicy. Let me list these off for you. We have Matt O'Shea, coach of the Montreal Melodics this season. We have Spartan, coach of the Victorial Victinis. We have King Sosha, coach of the Cold Summer Assassins. He's also known for the Los Angeles Infernapes. We have Side Braves, coach of the Nashville Needle Kings. We have the CGT qualifier and champion of the second tournament in Bruno 7, coach of the Chernobyl Dragalges. We have D-Ray, coach of the San Diego Snugglers. We have Bishmi, coach of the Trash Town Thieves. We have Inconsistency, coach of the Vegas Club Jangmo. We have Abomination, aka Al, coach of the Athabasca Miltanks. We have Talonmaster J, coach of the Atlanta Talonflames. We have Luke Harry, coach of the Sydney Star Raptors. We have Dundee Darmanitans, coached by Pokey Baldy. We have Wreck-It Mike, coach of the Virginia Victinis. We have Kiwi, coach of the Team Tempest. And my wife is actually partaking in this as well. Her name's Shelby, coach of the Pecatana Fire Squirrels. So when these go up, these are optional, but look for those coaches when they upload. A lot of them made very fire teams. Without further ado, I'm excited for this season and to debut this team. Let's go. Round 1, I was 7th overall pick. And I ended up getting Celastia. Let's have another adventure with this thing. Access to Leech Seed, Meteor Beam, Automize, Flamethrower, Air Slash, Flash Cannon, Stone Edge, Rock. I believe it gets Stone Edge. If not, it's just Rock Slide and Earthquake and Seed Bomb for stab. This being able to hit everything that wants to hit this super effectively is amazing. Earthquake for the electric types and for the fire types. That is insane. This gets coverage galore to be able to just smack things. That and access to Beast Boost. This thing gets going. It's a damage spiral. I believe you could be Spadef, special attack, and attack with Celestia as the boost. I don't think there's a physical way to make the speed more than anything else, and the same with the other stat as well. I believe the defense, actually no, it can be defense. So it can be anything but speed, which is actually pretty good. But with access to Automize, this can be a weakness policy sweeper. This can be Automize Meteor Beam for +1 special attack with Power Herb, and then just become a special attack sweeper. One thing I wish this mod had was access to Defog and access to Stealth Rocks like most steel types. That's kind of a little bit of a handicap, but I feel like if that was given to it, just gaining a kill off of it, the Stealth Rock entry just because it set them would be kind of a little busted. But all in all, Steel is incredibly bulky. Being steel and flying, it lifts a lot of hits. This is just going to be an offensive tank. I also can just be defensive and Leech Seed Protect set to whittle teams. I I'm not the biggest fan of that set, to be honest. I like hitting hard with Celastia. There's even times where I'll bust out a physical Celestia. This thing gets access to acrobatics and superpower. There are a few sets to take advantage of that. It's mainly with like power. I've ran Automize, Superpower, Acrobatics, Earthquake. What's your switching? That's an acrobatics you don't want to take at +1. Because now it's double damage base 110 and smacking you in the face. That's pretty good. And then you have the special attack variant that's just going to damage spiral itself. But there's also the Spadef set where it just doesn't die. Raises Spadef every time it kills something. I believe it's Leech Seed, Protect, Heavy Slam, and Flamethrower. That set's insanely good. It's a very annoying for your opponent. But without further ado, that's enough about Celestia. I don't want to be here all day. So we're going to hop into round 2 when it came back to me. Spoiler alert, for those of you that's starting to think, okay, the second mon's here, and then you'll see the third mon, there are some of you subscribers that will be like, why does this look familiar? But stay tuned. Round 2, I got Necrozma. This is my first Stealth Rock setter and my first mon with knockoff. Necrozma is a very interesting tool set. Prism Armor is absolutely disgusting. I take less damage from super effective moves. This allows this to be a sweeper set with weakness policy. This allows it to just be able to freely just Dragon Dance once, and then paired with its vast physical move pool of Breaking Swipes, Iron Head, Earthquake, Photon Geyser can be physical. I get access to Rock Slide, Rock Blast, Stone Edge, X Scissor, Brick Break. That's all I can remember off the top of my head. But on the special side, this actually gets access to Meteor Beam as well. So this can also be an automized Meteor Beam setup sweeper. Or this can just be straight offensive. Rocks, Future Sight, Knockoff, Toxic, and just whittle the team down on its own and then comes back in. Sets the Future Sight again. Swaps out. So on and so forth. Just slap leftovers on it. Make it incredibly bulky. The thing just starts smacking things. Being able to be like how Celastia is, be special or physical, is absolutely amazing for a mon. I love this thing. I've used this combo before, I believe, in CPL and INT. I didn't do so hot in INT because I tried to mix Oroville, Loyal Ninetales Hail in. That didn't work. My opponent would just immediately Brick Breaker Psychic Fangs. Nope. But Necrozma is able to just switch in to like a CC or any move that basically psychic resists and just chew it like butter, because its HP stat is actually really high. Its special attack is really high. But it's the only thing it's lacking in. It's a little less hard hitting attack wise, but its speed. It's not the fastest. I believe it's base 79, which it doesn't outspeed everything at +2, which kind of makes it a little hard for Necrozma to be a setup sweeper sometimes. But this thing gets access to Dragon Dance as well. And this thing with one Dragon Dance behind webs, behind rocks, just chunking into things is absolutely amazing. Uh, this also gets access to Earth Power, Heat Wave, um, Flash Cannon, so it's able to hit a lot of things, both physically and special. This even gets access to Moonlight. So, depending on the weather, I can heal myself more or less, which is amazing. Because then I believe it's Clear Sky for Moonlight. So, I believe it's. Oh, God, which two weathers is it? I know. Okay, I can't remember off the top of my head. But two of the weathers give me like 50, 60%. Oh, well, a little bit more. And then two of the weathers give me 25%, which I believe, well, Morning Sun is nerfed by Sand and Hail. Okay, so it must be the other two. But that's interesting. Uh, the Necrozma is a phenomenal mon. Being able to have access to reflect light screen, sub, um, all this support, and Calm Mind, Iron Defense, just and access to stored power once it's set up, and just spam stored power. They don't have a dark type, it's just over. And then we get into pick number 3, Grimstal. Okay, for those of you that have seen my CPL championship run or watched that battle, at this point, I decide I'm going to try and recreate the team as best as I can. Unfortunately, except for, well, I got sniped a few times of the ones I need. But back to the topic at hand. Grimsnarl is phenomenal. Prankster is amazing. This gets access to bulk up, light screen, reflect. Well, if we could even use it, well, it's more of a doubles thing, but swagger. I believe that's banned in singles. This gets access to Thunderwave, Trick, um, access to Sucker Punch, Fake Out, Stomping Tantrum, Power Whip, Play Rough, Nasty Plot, Dazzling Gleam, Spirit Break to lower my opponent's special attack by 1 guaranteed. This gets access to Darkest Lariat to bypass defense boosts. This also and then this thing against a bulky water type clicking Power Whip is absolutely insane. I've checked Vaporeon, Swampert, Quagsire, anything that's not Sap Sipper, water wise with this. The only thing I haven't been able to check very well is a freaking Azumarill. But this mon is amazing. Bulk up into Sucker Punch. Okay. You go to hit me with a Steel type move. I bulk up first. Okay. You now don't kill me, and you run the risk of this having a setup item on it. So now, say for example, like, you Ironhead into this. I live. I'm weakness policy. I bulked up. Now I'm +3 attack, and I'm clicking Sucker Punch. Do you have a resist? Otherwise, bye. This thing, you can be bulky with screens, you can be fast offensive, you can run Choice Scarf with Trick to get rid of it, to cripple your opponent and lock it in, especially if it's an Eviolite user like Porygon 2. If you trick a Choice Scarf on it, that Porygon 2 is not going to last very long. Just being able to do that is amazing. This forces your opponent's dark types to come. But that's a double-edged sword, because this also can smack the dark types with super effective moves and one-shot them, which is absolutely amazing. This also gets access to Ice Punch and Drain Punch. This answers Tyranitar and Dragonite. So if that's not a Boots Dragonite, this thing just goes gone. What? But without further ado, going into the next one, we have Talonflame. Fortunately, Talon Master Joe, I had to take your mascot. What more can I say besides Gale Wings is fun. Uh, Prankster Defog, uh, Prankster do, sorry, Priority Defog, Priority Do a Wing Beat, Priority Tailwind. Incredibly fast, probably the fastest thing on my team, being able to U-turn pivot out, access to Will-O-Wisp, access to Toxic, access to Roost, can even be ran 1 week as Flame Body to counter a heavy physical team. Like, say, I face a Scizor and it wants to Bullet Punch. Well, now I force that player to either choose between having leftovers or protective pads on that, because if they swing into this with a Bullet Punch, they risk being burned by Flame Body, which is amazing. This being Fire Flying, it's times 4 weak to Rock, but that's something I can work around. Just its ability alone is amazing. Uh, as long as I believe my Gale Wings is the faster speed, I think I go first, except for in the case of Triage, and I believe if a Cell Rock is faster, and Fake Out, which Fake Out's just gonna break the Gale Wings anyways. But Phenomenal Mon gets access to Steel Wing as well to hit fairies. Banded Flare Blitz just hits things hard. So does Banded Brave Bird, or just Life Orb Brave Bird and then roost off the damage and then get out of there with U-turn is very good. But since we're already so far in, Araquanid. I wanted sticky webs. To be honest, I love Araquanid just because of Water Bubble. And it also has access to Toxic and Mirror Coat, and it has access to Leech Life to be able to heal itself back. And there's not very many things that want to switch into a Liquidation. Even at -1, like say Lando T comes in, even max HP, max defense takes 50 to 60% from a -1 Mystic Water Liquidation, which is absolutely insane. That makes that Lando not want to stay in. This having access to Sticky Webs is absolutely amazing. This has access to Scald as well. This thing in a rain doesn't really have a switch in. This is good for when I want to go Trick Room, or if my opponent wants to use Trick Room against me, I bring this in. If I know I'm going to be susceptible to it, I run minus speed on this. There we go. We're going to have some fun. Bracklin is just an amazing mon, and I look forward to using it again. I picked this up in BBL. It had quite a few kills. It did its job. Granted, slow sticky webs is not exactly the best because a defogger can just come in right when I'm clicking the webs. But they have to consider, do I die if I defog? Because if you defog in front of this, you risk death. Because Water Bubble hits so hard. It also has fire damage, which protects Celastia. So I switch in with this on Celestial in front of a fire type. Well, now if they don't have a rock move or a way of hitting me, and they can't even Will-O-Wisp this, that forces that fire type out into a free liquidation. That's really good. Going into round 6, it's the turn of Big Papa. Season 3 of CPL, I was a terror with this. I faced the same person twice that league. And both games, this thing got 4 kills both games. And they heavy resisted electric. The fact that this thing gets Ice Punch and the elemental punches is absolutely insane. This even gets access to Weather Ball, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Volt Switch, Discharge. It's got a decent special attack, but its physical stack is where it's at. But what makes this so good is motor drive. I'm in front of, say, like a Coco. They can't freely launch an electric move into Celesteela because they risk this coming in. This even gets access to Darkest Lariat, uh, Power Up Punch, gets access to Magnet Rise, gets access to Earthquake. Wow. This thing just hits hard. Even at -1, this thing hits like a truck. It's a phenomenal mon, and I look forward to using it again. Round 7. I got 9-point Nidoqueen. Sorry, Nidoking. Um, my boy Blue. Well, unfortunately, that doesn't fit completely in the name on the Switch, which is unfortunate. But this thing being sheer force and being able to be physical or special is amazing. It adapts to whatever the matchup dictates. This even gets access to Stealth Rocks and Toxic Spikes, which is amazing. That's Focus Essence being broke. That's status being given, which is amazing. Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Shadow Ball, Focus Blast, Thunderbolt, Flamethrower, Sludge Wave, Earth Power. It's absolutely amazing. Uh, Poison Jab, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Earthquake, Bulldoze. I can't remember if I get Iron Tail or not. But being able to be physical or special to override my opponent's defenses, and they won't know what the Nidoking is till the matchup is played. That and this thing behind webs is an absolute nightmare. Same with Electivire. Same with Necrozma and Celesteela. So my opponent can't. Not only do I have the electric immunity in Electivire, I have it in Nidoking as well. Even though I have Talonflame, Araquanid, and Celesteela weak to electric, these two immunities can check that. Which is absolutely amazing. The synergy so far is just amazing on this team. Round 8, I got Steal of the Draft. Granny Smith is back. She was on my original CPL championship team, along with Celesteela, Necrozma, Grimstal, Talonflame, and Araquanid. Apple Acid is absolutely gross. Apple Acid into Stab Draco Meteor just is an absolute nuke. That and this thing gets access to Earthquake. I've never seen a Mon physically wall Heatran and Regieleki so well because they do nothing. Because it's Grass and Dragon, which is a ×4 resists to Regieleki. But it's also Thick Fat. So Heatran doesn't do anything. It's like at most 20% to this. But the Earthquake Return Fire one-shots Heatran, which is absolutely insane to think about. This gets access to Gyro Ball to hit really fast mons. Say a fast rock types in front of me. Lycan Rock Day, for example. A -speed Gyro Ball from this one-hit KOs. That is insane. That is if all of the EVs are taken off. Granted, don't need the Gyro Ball. Apple Acid just with raw special attack can just one-shot it anyways. But being able to answer ice types, water types, dragon types, fire types, and all of its weaknesses with its ability not only of Thick Fat, but also Ripen, which the effect of a berry doubles. Say Moonblast hits me. Okay, I am Roselli Berry. It halves the damage, and then it halves it again. which I take quarter damage. And then I'm able to just launch off and attack back. This can be a revenge killer. There's a cussed up set with recycle where this is just gets very annoying. That is incredibly hard to pull off though, because basically it's cussed up, um, and your move set of choice with recycle. You kill something, you recycle again, get the berry back, and then you risk death. Pretty much. Uh, Round 9. I got, well, not only is he a grower, but apparently on the screen he's also a shower. I got Sirfetch. This gets access to Defog, gets access to the ability Scrappy, which allows me to hit ghost type moves with normal and fighting. And so this a ghost type can't really switch into this on CC. With 135 base physical attack, there are really limited switch-ins to this. It gets Brave Bird, Leaf Blade, Grassy Glide, Knockoff, Close Combat, Priority First Impression. Can just swing that off every time it comes in. That's insane. Or you could be Choice Scarf into Close Combat, Brave Bird, or Knockoff, and just do a lot of damage. You come to a grassy terrain matchup, this thing just goes ham. I believe Big Leak boosts this. It's either Leak or Big Leak that boosts this thing's attack, which is absolutely insane. Or does it boost crit chance? Yeah, it's crit chance. Which, that paired with Leaf Blade, does a lot. I look forward to using this. I will probably end up using this probably as a defogger for the matchups that Talonflame can't come to, but just the fact that this thing can hammer hard. It's not exactly that. Originally on my CPL team, I had Pangoro. But I didn't want to do Double Dark again. So I decided to do Sirfetch for a point cheaper, which works out just fine. Because it's going to do the job it needs to. It's a little bit faster than Pangoro, so it can, with a Scarf, it can outspeed, I believe, Mons with 180 speed, which isn't bad. It's not going to outspeed everything, but hey, that's what first impression's for. Without further ado, let's get into the next Mon. Balto is back. I haven't used Balto in a few seasons now, but granted, I wanted the speed, and then I realized there's a few teams that drafted Sand, and they let this sit here. Let's wrap our heads around that. This gets Sand Rush, and it's faster than all the other Sand Rush Mons. Well, that's gonna be fun. This gets access to Fire Fang, Iron Head, Close Combat, Play Rough, Psychic Fangs. Gets access to Sword Stance, Stealth Rocks. Gets access to Endeavor as well. Gets access to Counter. Actually, no, I believe Counter is only on Dusk. I'll look at that later on. But for 4 points, this is a steal. Especially with it being 180 speed. Second fastest thing on my team. Pretty good. So my speed tiers are, I wouldn't say perfect, but they're close as where I want them to be. You've got like 196 with Talonflame that's at 180, and then you've got a few Mons that are 160 and 150. But hey, it'll do. The team's for fun anyways. Round 11. I got Amel the Double. Because, I'm sorry, D-Ray, your sweep made me want this. Sorry. But the fact that this gets fluffy, any contact move is halved. With its high defensive stat, access to agility, Cotton Sport, which gives +3 defense. Body Press, Last Resort. Double Edge gets access to Payback, Wild Charge, access to Swords Chance. You let this thing set up and it's just going to have some fun. I'm sorry. I just wanted to try. But yeah. That's Amel the sheep. But you'll probably see my webcam disappear in a second. This is the team. I look forward to putting on a good show for you guys in YCL Season 6. Be sure to check out the other coaches when they put their draft analysis up. And remember, this is optional. But hey, I hope you enjoy the team. If you want to leave criticism or say you like the team, just leave a comment. But other than that, like and subscribe. Enjoy the team. And I will catch you guys later. Week 1, I am looking forward to. I am playing Bishmi, coach of the Trash Town Thieves. So, look out for that. You guys have a good night.